love, blessings, and honor. Thanks for tuning in. I am Ize Redd, your co-host.
And I'm your co-host, Reality Souljah.
And we are
Garvey's
Ghost in the spectrum of roots. You see, the more we do it, the better we become. You know what I say? Practice makes perfect. Tell the people who we are. We're a special smuddy.
Well, today we've got a very special guest, someone who's like always in and out the country, so to have them pinned down for a while is quite a blessing still.
Serious.
Yes, so today's guest is from Melody Music Stables, Dawit Menelik Tafari. Greetings, Dawit. How you doing, King?
Yeah, man, we say greetings, and as always, we greet you in the name of the Almighty Father and Mother, manifesting Haile Selassie I and Empress Menen. Rastafari is the journey.
Yes, sir.
Perfect love.
Great to have you here, King.
Yes. Exciting. So, we come here to, just have a vibe and a little flow about, yourself and your little, I would say little music career, your music career and your journey throughout life, basically. You know what I mean? So let's kind of take it back to the beginning. Where did it all start for you? Like your parents, your childhood and them vibes there.
Right, like I said, recently I was in Jamaica and I said my auntie told me that I was conceived in Jamaica and was born in London. So
Snap.
yeah,
Same as I and I.
yes.
That means you never pay your fare for come from here. Same here. Save money.
So I was born in Newham Hospital, which is the adjoining borough to Hackney.
Right.
1962, 25th of August,
See. Oh,
Yeah, so
Virgo as well.
that's it.
yeah.
No, man.
So that hurt strong soon still. Good. So what happened? Like you're born and you grow in Newham and thing, and like what's the beginning of the journey? How was it
Well, I
for
was
you?
here till age 5, and then a lot of Caribbean parents back in them days used to send the children back.
Right.
So I was sent to Jamaica for what was said educational purposes. So
Right.
that was my journey from here. 5 years. Then I went to Jamaica.
Right.
Right,
For schooling.
age 5.
And how did you find that experience? Like the first schooling for you in Jamaica? What was it like?
School was always enjoyable. Like I said, we enjoy school from the beginning, Yeah, I went to Mona Primary School, Shartwood All Age School, then Excelsior, then Cornwall, and for me, I would have called that the real formative years for me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And this is because a tradition of West Indian parents, and you take
right.
your children back to the West Indies to get your education.
And your culture.
Yeah.
'Cause those things were taken with, seriously them time.
Yeah. And discipline as well, because we all know how the schools stay out there, you know what I mean? They were very, very disciplined and...
That's right. We had standard Jamaican family, which mean education, academics, was the importance to them. And
High priority.
most Jamaican people tell you there's no life, you can't make no progress without education. So
And that was central
discipline.
characteristic of Jamaican
that's right.
liberty. Yeah.
Yeah.
So any teachers or anyone stand out in your early years at school for you? Anyone make an impression on you?
Yeah, like I say, with time we look back and realize that we had teachers that genuinely cared for the students and the upbringing. I can remember Mrs. Henderson at Mona Primary.
My name, that you know.
Right, yeah. She was my first school teacher in Jamaica. I can remember Mrs. Morgan at Shartwood, Mrs. Carrington. Yeah, at Cornwall we had Mrs. Ford. And these people took a genuine interest. Then would turn up all of your yard, which you don't want to see happen, but then we turn up for come have a 1-2 with the family, and so you always under some scrutiny, and discipline was you always hold to book.
But the fact you remember their name, that kind of suggests that they were very, very influential. That meaning in your
I can
life.
remember them clearly, and you remember the things that stick is the fact that them take that extra time.
Right.
And them on your case. Yeah, at the time you feel like them just miserable and you just feel like why them. But when you look
Why they
back,
picking on me?
yeah, you see, said the teacher them see something in you and them want to see you achieve your highest. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So we give thanks.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So it was, I take it, all of your school years spent in Jamaica then, yeah?
Well, most. Like I said, I went to primary school, Mona Primary, Shartwood All Age.
What parish you grow?
Yeah, Mona Primary is Kingston, St. Andrew, right? Yeah, so I lived in a place called Ligani. And then we moved to a place called Arcadia, which is up the Chartwood Road, just atop of Barbican and Grants Pen.
Okay.
Yeah. So we went to that school for about 3-4 years, and then took common entrance, went to Excelsior High School. Right. So, yeah, and then finished up at Cornwall College.
Okay.
In Montego Bay. Cornwall is in Mobay. Yeah.
And how did you find high school and the school before that? What was those experiences like for you?
Yeah, well, you know, growing up, like I said, we give thanks because discipline was always the essence. You know, like I said, we could see that the teachers cared, so they went that extra distance. And school for we is the formative years. Like I say, when you look back upon your schooling, you give thanks for what you got.
Yeah.
And it is the main shaping of your character.
Yeah. And also the stuff you did outside of school as well. I'm sure you got up to lots and lots
standard
of stuff.
things over people mango tree, over people fence, whole heap of drama, the cricket field, the football field.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a joy. I can't look at my childhood and say nothing negative more than it was beautiful.
And when first did you start sneak out to go dance?
Yeah, that started.
You never asked him if. You just said when.
No, say.
Age 11 we start, you know, find ways and means to get out the house and reach King Tubby's Upper Student Union. We'd have a sound named Black Harmony used to play just down the lane more time from where we live.
Wasn't that just its song?
Black Harmony? Was it Stitchy song?
Yeah, that's it. Just Stitch used to DJ that song there.
Yeah.
Arrows and King Atani, all them sound they used to do about them days. So, yeah, dance always keep somewhere near where you can get to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I would say from 11, we've been finding ways and means to be in the dance at all time.
And I take it, you know, going to the dance hall, you're going to hear the music that you're not hearing on mainstream radio, i.e. the reggae and the message and the roots. And
that's right. Well, all of the sound them we call a root sound them. Yeah, and like I said, my attraction was to roots, so we never really go on a little sweet boy disco and them thing. We just go hardcore roots. Yeah, and later on, Jalove did come out too.
Okay.
Yeah, but roots music has always been the passion, man. The music of the 70s.
Right. Yeah. So, when was your first experiences of Rastafari?
Well, like I say, you know, when I went to Excelsior, we passed common entrance, I think that's 73. And, you know, your parents proud that you're going to high school, because if you're not going to high school, you're already classified as a failure.
Yeah, of course.
Right? My grandmother come down from America. She took me. So on the first day at Excelsior, in the hall, she meet a friend that she grew up with who was bringing her son to school. So, like I said, we all got assigned with classes, and I find the very first day I come out of the class break time, I find myself with a couple of rasta under a tree, and the reasoning started from there. And
you mean if you say me send the boy to school and turn rasta on me?
That's right, that's the exact scheme. That's the exact settings. Right. And then like I said, my grandmother friend, Fair Youth, Bingy Brown, him see the same way, him have the Rasta current, him have some bigger brother where I say Rasta. And, you know, him feel bridging them way, Patrick City people, roots all the way. So, from the first day, I feel, I say that was where my journey in Rastafari started.
I don't think we can overstate the cultural significance, because before that it was colony, it was Britain being the motherland, the queen and all that. And we were rejecting that and finding something that was our own, something organic and real.
Right.
The Rastafari, that was the thing.
Yeah, man, we come from strict Christian family. And like, even to me, when we look back on it, to me that is a calling. That wasn't really like a conversion. From the first encounter and start, really, I think for yourself, it's just Rastafari we see. And the fact that the journey started that way, that to me mean I see like I was ushered into that situation.
Not a lifestyle choice, a livity.
That's right.
Like I say, I call it. Yeah, so we're talking about Jamaica, early 73, maybe 74, you were saying. So where was like you living in Jamaica and thing, but I'm sure there came a turning point where you had to come back to the UK for whatever reason. Like, what led to this?
Well, like I say, I went at Excelsior, my journey started within Rastafari. So, you know, within the family, that being smoking herb, like you said, going to dance, we start to get a bit like what them would I say rebellious, because we are defend where we are deal with. So I was 1 year at Excelsior, and then I was sent to Cornwall College in Montego Bay. Right. That's a boarding school. So I was on a road of supposedly being corrected from where you're going wrong. Okay. So I was at Cornwall College 3 years. And again, the journey does continue, and, you know, more run-ins with headmasters and teachers and la-di-da-di-da. So your parents start say, well, I think we better send him back
to the UK.
So
it's not working.
I sent back to the UK for see if that would have correct things.
Okay.
Yeah.
What year was you put on that plane to come back then?
Yeah, I came in 77, just after the 2-7 clash. I can remember that day clearly.
Right.
So I came here August 77. Yeah.
So around your Earth Day as well.
Yeah.
August.
But then the average parent would have seen Rastafari as a kind of a contagion. You're gonna try and protect your pitney from all these Rasta influences and things. Oh, like I hear my son, my nephew, him gone Rasta. It's like you catch AIDS or something.
That's right. You know, you come from a Christian family background.
Yeah.
So anything outside of Christianity, as far as them concerned, something gone drastically wrong. You understand? Yeah.
So. So then we're on your back at UK now. So what are you doing? You're staying with family?
And more or less, did that work?
Well, you see the journey continued. I came back here, like I said, 77. And
you
stayed
what,
in
like
Dalston.
17 them time there?
16, yeah. And again, you see, I remember I went to Hackney Downs for 1 year, and I went to Hackney College for 1 year.
Okay.
So I was living in Dalston, just off Kingsland Road. Yeah, and again, you know, when certain spirit in you just want, and again, we get more freedom when we come to England, so more dance, more this, more that. Yeah, so.
And the prevailing culture,
that's right,
the general culture, youth culture was Rastafari. Everybody and all them dog locks up.
Yeah, 70s was predominantly Rasta.
Everything.
So from this, so we just, you know, like I say, we debut in a Hackney. Sound system, vibes, everything with us free up, man.
So who was your little crew that you was moving with, and where were the places that you and your crew would frequent?
Yeah,
like dance and them thing there, so on that, like what was the vibes
you
for the
bring
man?
back the memories, man. Right, we'd have a brother named Robert Emmanuel. And my brother named Kush Tafari. Him actually born on the same day, same year. Right, I come from Jamaica and joined me in a school. And we'd have our next brother we call Scoops. Yeah, and then again, Robert Emmanuel living just down the road there. We meet people like Ize Redd. And you know, even Pablo Gad and certain other elders them where they about here do the music thing. So we just fall in our vibes, you know what I'm saying?
So did you ever go to a place like Raz, and what was the other place down Ashwin Street? They had like some Rasta house and certain things.
Roots Pool down in place there.
Yeah.
We passed through, like Rosie's a place, because that was up the road. We used to pass through, now and then. And Alcola Street, Roots Pool, and you know, then back in the day there was the line and them things. So again, you're moving through, working out where you fit in, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then, you know, we end up just up the road there. From Warwick Grove. So.
The infamous.
I didn't want to say it.
So, Hackney is a very special place to me, you know what I'm saying? And so as I'm concerned, it all happened right here in Hackney.
So when was the turning point that made you say, well, you know, let me try this music thing and see what can happen? And or what was it? What did you say? I've got a message for the people. Like, what was your?
No, you know, you got just like, you know, when we come in the 70s, everybody, even man who have sound, have 2 big speaker in their house, and everybody me know I play vinyl and that sound system vibes. I don't know anybody who never have it. You understand what I'm saying? So we run and about, and like we say, Robert Emmanuel and man, they sing, and we just start vibes with them, and like we say, we book Ize Redd, we start, you know, play some music lessons and things, and we decide, say, yo, we are going at this thing. They thought that was about, that would have been about 78, 79, we start, Yeah, and then again, you know, we keep telling the mentality we have is decide, say, okay, we are get serious in this, so we are going to produce our own music, and because you know the vibes with it, people, you have a standard in your head where you want, and growing up on Studio One and Treasure Island, them style of music, yeah, we felt like we needed to study music, so we start studying music, and their own sing pan cassette, you know, I say get 2 cassette player, and you have the vinyl dub player. You start to yourself, but you're all right, you know, you can go on with something. You know what I'm saying? Right. So again, 1979, we did the first recording.
Okay.
Same thing. The thing up here, everybody know we call the dole. Right? Me and my brethren put dole money together and we book Easy Street.
Okay.
You know, them time the Easy Street was Bethnal Green, and we did the very first recordings. I know that was 79, which month I can't remember, but same thing. Robert Emmanuel do 2 tune, me do 2 tune, and you guys actually play the bass for it. Okay. Right, and that group named Chalice, you know, Stanley Andrews, them that man there, Steve, Blood Shanty Steve, them man they come so with build up a little team and go into the studio, go put on 4 tracks, and that really was the beginning of the journey. Melody music started right there. Yeah.
So that was the first release of melody music you was working on?
No, that was the first recording. Right. Yeah, you know, after we recorded, you know, you start realize there's more things to know, so we go through that learning process. But from them time that we in a studio, every money you get you in a studio, and then live music you can experience. Rainbow was running the place them time there. Black Uhuru,
anybody coming to town,
Spear, all of them man they pass through and not just up the road. So we there every show. Yeah.
So what was your performing name at them time?
Well, you know, locally everybody call me Top Cat.
Top Cat.
So the first release was Nowadays Style.
Okay. Again, that just reissue, right?
Yeah, that's been re-released over the last couple of years, but that was my first release. That was 80-something, I don't know. We released it at Jamaica and released it here, so.
Okay, Jamaica as well.
Yeah, they come up on 7-inch.
And whose label was that?
My label, my Melody Music. Yeah, that was the first, and we released a song called Mountain Rock with Ize Redd. We did those 2 releases at the same time. Those were the first 2 releases.
And those are the Easy Street recordings?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Go on. Okay. And that was under the name Top Cat?
Yeah.
Good on. So you didn't like sing or perform for no other record labels around them time?
I've never. My desire was to do it myself, everything.
Self-sufficient.
You know what I'm saying? Produce, sing, write, and produce others, because it did start as a team.
Right.
Yeah, so there was always other singers in the camp. That's how I evolved, because most of the time we would write and I encourage man until the man say, you have sing it yourself. So we end up start sing. And like I said, that's how the journey start.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So this time you're still based in Hackney them time there?
From I come back to England, I've never lived anywhere else but in Hackney. If I'm out of Hackney, it's something I go on a couple months, but everything me ever do in England started in Hackney.
Okay.
Even till today.
See.
Yeah. So to me, Hackney is an extremely special place.
Because I know at one point you had your own studio set up here in the UK, innit?
Yeah, I had I have a studio up at Wigan House, and I did live just on the border of Hackney in Leighton.
Okay.
That's where we'd have the first studio in the basement, and then same thing, we end up come back in Hackney.
Right.
So the studio was up by Warwick Grove. Yeah. And like before that we used to go North Easy Street, Mark Angelo. And we used to find some little studio. You know, that time they 2-inch 24, all this digital equipment never come out yet. So
that's right.
We was from
strictly
one
analog. Proper thing.
That's right, the real thing. That was the journey, man.
The warm zone, for real. Yes, so we were saying you were in your early adult years and you're honing your skills and your craft. Who was your inspiration?
Well, in terms of the music, them that, you know, like I said, we grew up in the 70s era, so it was the Dennis Brown, Alton Ellis, John Old. That for us a Studio One in Ireland.
Right.
Dennis Brown was the standard which everybody looked at. You know, we felt like if you couldn't sing certain tune into them certain type of grooves, where you see then, as far as we concerned, you're not qualified.
Right.
You understand? So Dennis Brown and all them artists there.
Right.
It was big inspiration. When we come to England now and we come around the sound system culture, the first set of man them like me say when me drop monks where I play music was Huey Isaac, Louis Beckett, Blood Shanty, Stanley Andrews. Them man did have a young band. Them was the Rassites of that day. The Chalice band. Right. So that little crew of people, Wazir Carnegie. We that was our crew. We just round them people all the while, and when we start record, Wazir play drum, Huey play bass. So we'll have a little foundation, then Louis come in with the keyboards and the technical aspects of things, and we just perfect that crew there, and that is the foundation of all the music where melody music creates.
So you've released 2 singles under the artist name of Top Cap. What's the vision like? Where were you going? Is it like what do we do? Release an album? What are we doing?
We always felt like a singer supposed to do an album,
right?
And you would have 2 or 3 singles from an album. Right. So our approach to recording music was always trying to do an album.
Yeah.
Right. And like I said, the first releases was 80 something. I did in the era them call me Top Cat. That is what they used to call me as a youth in Hackney. And I released the first song, Nowadays Style.
Yeah.
And Huey Isaac did sing a tune called Mountain Rock. Those were the 2 first releases from Melody Music Sound Productions.
And that was the album then?
That was the single from the album.
Right.
Yeah. That was the initial.
Right.
Yeah, so.
And in those times, what would you think was the kind of obstacles and challenges you had in order to get your craft into a product?
Right. Well, you go through that whole process of actually trying to master analog recording. Like I say, Easy Street. After you get to that, kind of like we always felt like we wanted to do everything.
Right.
That's our big way I think, although it wasn't realistic way. So we did focus on production, and we produced a portion of tune which was albums. Like I say, I did my first album was Give Thanks and Praise unto Jaja. We'd have another singer called Levi Judah, and next is with the album called There's Only One.
Now known the Ghetto Priest,
Levi Judah, the Ghetto Priest. Right, and Huey Isaac was fundamental to everything where we had the Louis used to mix and play. So we recorded about 5-6 albums, and I remember the studio was on site, so people passing through could always contribute.
So, and I take it you're doing all your marketing and distribution yourself as well.
We tried
to be independent.
Like I said, those first releases on vinyl, I can remember we print the cover, the whole thing, and then you start try hit the road, go up into the countryside, Leeds, Birmingham, Derby.
Trying to be the hardest salesman in town.
We try everything, and as you go along, you realize this thing is much more technical.
Yeah.
So the same thing, because when I say about obstacles and challenges, I've had it myself. You take a product to a distributor or something, they say, "Boy, that not really work for me. It's not current. It's not whatever." You know what I'm saying?
Well, we lived through the era when we make the roots music. People would always be super critical because you always compare to what's going on from Jamaica. As far as a man concerned, if you not do it the way the hard man them do it, you're not doing it. And like I said, we try. The main distributor them time was Jetstar. You know what I'm saying? But at least you had more distributors them time. You had Jetstar, you had Rough Trade, you had Green Sleeves, you had people. But again, they were more. You had to be going with the flow. If you couldn't get a sound system for really play your music to a degree, you never really have much opportunity.
Right.
I remember even I talked to Mr. Palmer and he said to me, "Boy, if it now play upon the radio, you can leave 50 and you come back and see 50. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So you start to realize that marketing and distribution is even more important too.
Yes.
Than, so.
Was it a challenge to get your product played on the radio?
It's always been. In the earlier days, there was a company called Roots Records. I don't know if you remember that company that did want to deal with Roots, but through them we get certain publicity. There was newspapers like Echoes, Black Echoes. We used to do charts and them things. But for really get big radio play and them thing there was an almighty struggle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What about live work? Any live work?
Not much, because most of me concentrate on the production. The first live performance I did was in 96 at the Adawa celebration in Addis Ababa.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, where Muta Baruka, Tony Rebel, Yasso Safari, Utan Green, them to come and Addis for do the Adawa celebration, and we did 2 shows in Addis, and then I performed in South Africa. I've never performed in England actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like another part of your story, like, you know, as well as doing the music and stuff, there was that, you had that Africa and that repatriation vibe, and which we should really kind of touch on as well at some point. I don't know if it's too early. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you have difficulties it's always the case. You have such dedication and integrity in terms of music production, self-autonomy, collectivism, come together, make we do the thing we all work with, and the energy is beautiful. And then you have the product, it's beautiful. Nobody now take the thing, and
that's right.
Mr. Wendy and then played. I tell the DJ what to play.
Right. Because you know the same thing in the 80s and going up to the early 90s, the roots kind of fell off, and it was the dancehall scene. And
well, we went
that start cut off
even
Dre,
harder then.
you know what I mean?
So we have make roots music, and people say if the music now go pop, 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 not now go on. And to be honest, it was Europe who saved the roots music, because they didn't stop playing roots music in England. Everything just went dancehall, and if you had the Rasta thing was like, we don't even want to hear that again. You know the vibes.
You still depend that?
Yeah. But we did dedicated to that. You understand? And we never really have no desire for do nothing else, because like I said, to me, still not no beat the music of the 70s. So our aspiration was we need to be at least equal and should be better. You understand?
Have that as a foundation.
So we perfected what we are doing. Like I said, through that era, we made a lot of production, and most of the man, that's when things start to, fall apart, in the fact that people want food for eat and nothing now really go on. Like I said, most of the musicians, they was working with other musicians and bands. So, but it was never substantial. And our thing, like I say, you're struggling with, distribution and getting radio play. So it start look like, boy, this is a thing where we're keeping it going for the love, but every man I look elsewhere for see if them can eat a food, which, at the time looking at it, it was disheartening, but it's a reality that had to happen. You know what I'm saying? People have to find them way, and it's a tough business for be in it.
Well, obviously it didn't dishearten you in any way, because you're still here doing the same works now.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So your philosophies and principles have remained, and I suppose it's like the teachings of Rastafari and Marcus Garvey, and which has held you in the stead that you are now. You know what I'm saying? So you mentioned earlier about you performed in Addis Ababa. How did the whole Africa connection come about then?
Yeah, that was really sweet, because like I say, we used to live in Addis, and people like reggae music, so that was like the first little thing of international, and it was like a celebration. It was an Adawa celebration, which is an Ethiopian celebration. So
of the battle, innit?
Yeah, the Battle of Adawa, 2nd of March thing. Yeah. So they was well received, and like I say, it was a journey for as well as, like I said, Muta Baruka, Tony Rebel, Yasso Safari, Anja Williams, Utan Green. This is them first time in Addis, and everybody come in with the vibes of wanting to know and learn and see and deal with the reality of Ethiopia.
Yes, sir.
It's no more a dream, it's a reality.
Was that your first trip to the motherland then?
No, the first time I went to Africa was 91.
This episode was brought to you by Reality Sound System and Alpha Bravo Films.
Well, you see, that's when I say within the early days of being at Excelsior and reasoning with Rastafari, and your formulate your own ideology within yourself. Like, to me, Rastafari is back to Africa. It's Marcus Garvey teachings, uplift and empower yourself. Like, you remember me tell you, even when we start the music, our intention was to do everything. You understand? It's just the reality of the thing. So within that, we always say Africa. Like I say, from me 11, we don't know nothing about Africa them time. We only know what we see on the news, which was always the Mama in Kenya, Biafra war.
And don't forget Tarzan.
Right, and see, and we know say Addis Ababa is where the king seated.
Yeah.
So before we even know nothing about Africa, we say we are go Africa. That was always the talk.
Right.
So when we come back to the UK now, we're getting more contact with Africans, right? Coming from the continent. When I say we have Ghanaians, we start to know people from Nigeria and rare. So like I said, it's about 10 years, it's the 90s. Like I say, that whole 10-year period was where we was recording, and you're looking at yourself and I say, yo, we not say we are going to Africa, bless, and most of the people, I tell you, them want to go back to Jamaica, go do this and do that, and I say, nah, man, Africa have to stop be a talk to me. You understand? So 1991 was the first trip I went to. It was November 91. No, August 91. We go Ghana, Accra, same thing, some little sistering and some brethren where we know from Ghana who we are interact with, we just decide so we are go down there. You understand? And things moving away when you start calling, we learn the people we plan for go up on the flight with, when we check in on the flight, we don't see them. And all our planning was based around them.
Wow.
So me and my brethren, a soldier, we just say we are going, and we come out of the airport, going out in a taxi, and we say to the taxi man, we want a cheap hotel. And the man say, all right, I carry go to the hotel. As we are going at the hotel and I check in, the lady say, there's another person from Jamaica here. We say, what? Right? We go upstairs, there's a bridging from Hackney again. So the journey starts with, we just rest up the next day and start carry, go meet some Rasta bridging, and we buck up another Rasta bridging where we know from Tottenham.
Okay.
And him did a build a nightclub on a rooftop, bamboo and thing like a whole yard land. Yeah, so we end up just, the whole trip was based on just helping him to finish that building. And so we spent it was July actually, we spent the whole of July and early August, I helped him put up the thing, and we left and come back to England.
Okay.
Yeah, so we never even get to see much of Ghana or even Accra. It was just like a deal. We ended up just do our work. Yeah.
That wasn't Marcus, was it?
No, it's a bridge named Daniel from Tottenham there. They used to call him Ghost.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's a renowned bridge still from up there. And we said we just put in our work. Come back to England.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the joy of that trip, me and my brethren, I said, yo, we love Ghana so much, but we need to go to Ethiopia. We can't make no decision in Africa without go to the King's Council. You see it. So November that year, then we go Ethiopia.
Right.
Yeah, same thing. We just go up on a flight. We reach Ethiopia. We hear say there was a Jamaican embassy. So we come out of the airport, we say taxi to Jamaican embassy. So we go to the embassy, we book up a Mr. Singh, who was the ambassador. He was once ambassador here too.
Okay.
Yeah. So we go in there and him tell me, and him say, all right. Him put me in the ambassador car, carry up to a place called Sidiskilo and link with a Ras, which is another renowned Ras Tagasa, who was living in Addis, and from there some whole journey in Ethiopia start. So we like Ethiopia, so from then I make quite a few more trips back to Addis. I spend, by 92, I basically living in Addis. And backward and forward to England. So we was there 92 up till about the end of 96. Yeah, she passed through Sheshamani. We just living in Addis, like I say. The man them come in and do that Adawa celebration, and we did encounter certain bureaucratic problems within Ethiopia. We couldn't get status the way that we wanted it. And to me that
Why do you think that was?
Well, it was the early stages after Mengistu had fled and a new government come in, and them kind of see Rasta as a upheaval or a threat to them, because them don't want nobody to talk about the king and this, that. Them under different vibes. So they wasn't really conducive to our vibes. Seeing at the end of the day, our spirit, we say we come Africa, and then after a while, from the terms of what you want to develop, it couldn't really work to how me see it. You understand? So 96, me just pack up my equipment and thing, and me go. No, first I went to South Africa for a conference, which was like the first international Rastafari gathering.
Okay.
Yeah, that was November 96. So through me there Ethiopia, Ethiopian Airlines Services South Africa, I say, yeah, make me go down there and see what I go on.
See.
Right, okay. Like you take a cab.
Yeah.
Taxi, yeah, take me to South Africa.
That's right.
Like say, I'm 1,000 miles.
You know, when you're in Africa, you're thinking I forget vast stuff. So, 96, I went to that conference. It was in Cape Town.
Right.
Yeah, a Rasta community where Felipe. And really like the place when the beauty and the vibes of the place and the fact that the infrastructure, the dead
right,
and the things that we wanted to do, all the things that we was getting blocked with in Addis was easily dealt with in South Africa.
So not much, so much bureaucracy.
Them have a more British kind of system. So whereas
right,
in Ethiopia you have all kind of, there was in a transfer from a communist system into another system, and the bureaucracy would drive you crazy. You understand? So you spend more time trying to apply for this, get that, than you can get to work. You understand? So we felt like we didn't make no progress in certain things. So like I say, after going to that conference and realizing the vibes, by the next year I was in South Africa, reorganizing my whole thing. I pack up my studio, everything from Addis, and go down Cape Town.
So you had your vision in Africa because you've already got your studio there. You want to be a resident now. You're like,
that's right. That's what the thing that made me move. We wasn't getting the legal right to run a recording studio and do things in the music business. So for me that was our main thing. So if we couldn't get to do that, it never makes sense just sit down there and can't really do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
It's a brave move though, King. I mean, like you say, most people from the West Indies would have said, let me go back to my home country, Dessa, and take where I'm taking back and set up and do what I'm doing. And you say, no, I'm going to do it in Africa, which is...
But that was always the vision, let me say. When we say we go to Africa, we don't go to Africa for say, going to Africa was the ultimate in our life. We were going there to find a way. You understand? So we go to Addis firstly and foremost, and we feel like it never going to work out the way that we did want it to go. So I go South Africa, and I feel like I could have do what I want to do in South Africa. So I lift up the studio and everything go down there. So same thing, we record local music, we record international artists will come in, and from a business point of view again, we don't have no problem. The other thing is back to the same issues of marketing and getting access to media. Those things always become another thing in altogether. But from in terms of feeling comfortable and set up your thing the way you want to set it up, me never have no problem with that at South Africa.
So which part of South Africa was you based at this time?
I was originally Cape Town.
Okay.
Yeah, I spent 5 years in Cape Town, and then we moved down to KwaZulu-Natal, which is the Zulu Kingdom.
Yeah.
And we'd have a little farm. I was up there for about 18 years.
Yeah.
Well, in African terms, that's a little farm.
How many hectares was it?
It was 16 and 12, So 2 pieces of land, so that's about 50-acre land. Right. But again, like I say, in Africa, that's classified as a small holding. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, so again, it was a group of us from us, so we did try again, a local from around here. So. And we initially bought the farm, and then, like again, the same thing, the structures break down, and I find myself alone with one of my next brethren from Jamaica, Umoja. Him did there with me, I try steady the ship. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I say, after like 2020, it got caught. We have a thing in South Africa what them call a land claim. You hear me tell you, we're in the middle of the Zulu Kingdom. When there's a place named Kwadukuza, where King Shaka born, grow, and bury. You understand? So it's a serious traditional area. So when the land claim issues come up, being in that area is only natural that those land was claimed back to the royal families of the Zulu Kingdom. Again, so we live in the community. The community accept we and receive we and tell we say, well, they're not really interested to take back the land. But there's a legal process you have to go through. And within that process, difficulties occur where you just say, you know what, the best thing, take back the land. So you get some compensation for the land and So that happened, that was completed in 2020, and then we just go back to Cape Town where I was originally based. So.
So when you was down in the kingdom, then that you had a vision of building your own community down there, basically.
Yeah, that was the idea. You know, we was trying to get people from this side. You see, this is what I say. Repatriation to me is not an illusion.
Yeah.
But I don't expect nobody to come out the sky to make it happen.
It's more like a collective commitment.
Right. Yeah. So we'd have a group of man.
Yeah.
And we try to go down there. Like we say, we can't say we fail. We get to a degree, but then the follow up.
Right.
And then you remember, I think it was when them start all this financial problem where you find some people just decide to boy them off of their way. Them can't earn a food. If a project is not up and running, a man can't hang around because it get tight them time. I think that was what? I can't remember what year. It was about 2008, 2010, the whole financial thing. It get a bit funny. So you find people dart back your son out to defend them earnings. You know what I'm saying?
All right, stick up in here. I'll come back.
This episode was brought to you by Reality Sound System, Alpha Bravo Films.
So we're coming back, and your return to Cape Town, you were saying.
Yeah, 2020, I'm back in Cape Town, so it took me about a year to get reorganized, and so I'm back there in Cape Town. We have the studio back up, and yeah, we have some other little things we dilly-dally with, but I'm basically there. When I'm not here, I'm definitely there. You know what I'm saying?
So, you know, like the autonomy of music production and everything, and it always seemed like the problem is about getting distribution. And didn't you ever get to a time where you made connections with, or the right connections with people who could give you access?
I've been around the access, but I've even dealt with companies that have the power for make anything they want to happen. But for I, that is the weakness, or that is the one hurdle we're struggling to get over, in the fact that we never get no marketing and distribution upon no level, even though we're forced to just deal with the cyber marketing and what you can do yourself. But, I've worked with record companies and they've done what they could do, but never really. I don't feel I've had a fair shake of the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So
from the viewers and listeners' point of view, what is your discography? Like how many albums and singles over the years, like off the top of your head kind of thing?
Well, we got 16 album out. 16 album you can find on Bandcamp.
Wow.
And me record 3 album, and the rest is other artists that I've produced and dub albums.
Right.
Which we always get good reviews from around the world. It's just, it's not reflected in sales.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the problem that we all go through.
That's right.
And that we've been facing this problem for years and years.
You see?
You know?
Yeah, but we're not going to give up, and we know quality is quality, so we just keep plugging away. Hopefully one day we get it all right.
Maybe one day we just have to put a face that fits in front of it, so to speak. Without compromising our morals and our principles. You know
well, you see, it's become even more technical now. You know that, because if you don't stand for certain things, certain doors are already closed. You already know you don't even look there. So it's still back to we have to create our own world, which for me, Africa is the place to do that.
Right.
And we're not going to give up, and we're still confident we're going to hit the goal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It looks like Africa's kind of taking back their own at the moment anyway. They want their own control over their economies and their laws and their, it's like Africa's decided to become independent again.
I feel this is the beginning of the real revolution.
Like
this is what we needed to see.
You know?
Because they're shaking up down there now, and them start to say, where we are say all the time, it's like, we need our things and we need to run our things the way we understand how to run our things.
That's right.
And we don't want nobody to tell we where we for do and how we for do it. We ain't here telling anybody what to do or how to do it either.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's a threat to the status quo, the economic status quo. So there's going to be pushback though, right?
Yeah, well, the same thing. You look a young man say right now, if you're a slave and you're not a fight, you deserve to be a slave.
Yeah,
so
true that.
you have to rise and shake that off. And like me say, Rastafari was the beginning of even I think them wait a long time. We want to run our own thing. We want to do it the way we know how to do it.
Yes.
And that I feel is what we're born on earth for do. You know what I'm saying?
See. And I mean, I haven't been and experienced it for myself, but from what I kind of see, it looks like the influence of Rasta and the culture of Rasta is kind of kicking off in Africa as well.
It's been there a long time, and Rastafari culture has been one of the biggest inspiration to African people, or even the African liberation struggle.
Yeah.
That's what I say. I don't understand how people, even Rastaman, them don't know that. When anywhere you go in Africa,
whichever language, whichever tribe, universal.
And any man can tell you the liberation song them where them here, and the influence of the reggae icons over the year that uplift them.
Right.
Yeah, from Winnie Mandela to whoever, any African leader, them tell you reggae music. In South Africa, reggae music is well loved by the mass, the poor mass to the hardcore.
Because they relate to
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
Freedom music.
You know, it's just a joy to hear it from someone who's experienced it and lived it. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
but like I said, I haven't been until, so I don't know. So to hear it is a beautiful thing.
And even now, much more reggae artists is touring, and they're touring to 40 and 50,000 when it's organized in the right way. Yeah.
Okay.
Shows in Zambia, Zimbabwe.
Right.
Yeah. South Africa is tougher in the live show thing, but there's places, even Ghana, them places you get it right, you get in mass audience. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Must be like a different vibe and a different energy to perform in the motherland to your people, innit? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm saying I only ever perform in Africa, I perform in South Africa, and I performed in Ethiopia. Up till now, I don't do no performance this side of the globe.
Seriously? No UK show, never?
Nah. I mean, never. Like I said, the days early, we was more in the production, and then, like I said, it started to Africa, and we felt like we should have moved everything to Africa and try to get it going from that side.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is like a 10, 20-year plan when you think about it realistically, you know what I'm saying?
You see.
It's like it's a long-term vision. It's not something that's going to happen overnight.
That's
what
right.
we're trying to do.
Well, we've been on it, you know, like we say, we're inviting and we're inviting and we're inviting. So
is that the official invitation?
That's right.
Got it on film.
You see, so we're still on it and we're still confident. Like we say,
that's inspiring, King.
Yeah.
No, big up, props to the man, man.
You see,
love that.
Have you got a network down in Africa at the moment then? Like a network of people that you're working with?
Well, in South Africa, I have people who I work with. I have other people that I'm trying to reach out to.
Right.
Yeah, like I say, Africa is big grounds. Like even now going back in, I want to try link up with some people in Zambia.
Okay.
Zimbabwe is fertile for the thing. Economic stress kind of limit what we can do at the present, but we feel good. Say something going to work still. You understand? Yeah.
Still have the confidence. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And it sounds like there's a lot of opportunity for growth down there still.
Well, to me, that's the future for I and I don't see our people don't understand that. Every nation of people, you see, all the things is about who is eating out of Africa. Africans in the diaspora, they're more trying to leave Africa for come here than for try create opportunities within Africa. But like you say, I think we reached the threshold where the thing I go switch now, where people decide say Africa liberation by all means right now.
Yes, right.
So we like that.
Because you even educated a couple of your children in Africa, right?
Yeah. My son, one of my son did live at Addis for 2 years, went to school there. Two of my other son them was with me in South Africa for about 8-9 years. Yeah, they went to school in Cape Town and Zululand. So yeah. The whole family was there at different points.
Right.
Yeah, so we're based right now. I live there. I was living with my children. Like I say, some of them come back, they're all adults now, so them do what they want to do.
Right.
Yeah, but most of them, they're back in England, and occasionally they're that side too.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
So is it music, or are there other spheres of the media world that you want to penetrate?
Well, like I say, me personally, there was quite a few things I wanted to do in Africa. Like I said, the music has never moved to the way that I wanted to do. I've always done import-export, like bringing African crafts and clothing, which has always been, like I said before, up to 2010, it was worth a while. Since now, the economic downturn. Yeah. So we always dallying with something or trying something. Right, and I still say Africa is the place with the opportunity.
See.
Yeah.
The Black Renaissance.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause I think some of the psychological barriers for over here is like, boy, if things bad over here, so imagine down there.
Yeah.
And I think that's
the media
hindrance.
again. The media we
Yeah,
won't play
that's
our
right.
music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has that kind of perception. Like I say, if you don't get over that and go sick, like I say, you very rarely see anything positive about Africa.
Never.
Yeah, it's always death, destruction, disease, famine.
Yeah.
So people tend to think that's all. But Africa is so vast. You understand? Yeah, and that is the negative. Within all these places where you're seeing that, there is also great positives. So it's just
Right.
that that's not what you see. So you have to go there yourself to see that. Yeah.
You know, where you live in Africa, do you see the people then trying to progress in the community and like make things better and easier and become independent? You know, that same mentality that you have.
Well, you see,
Do the locals
that
have
is
that
one of the
mentality?
great things. You see, 'cause if you're in South Africa, where I'm staying now, they never received that form of education.
Right.
See, so you see now that them free, they're going through a whole transition trying to find that.
Okay.
Because one of the most popular is empower yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go there with that attitude, and you know, you can see that people are just learning that, even for support each other, for start build, because you lived under a total divide and rule kind of living. You see, if you never experience apartheid, I don't think you can really fathom what it done. You understand?
yes.
And even me, I went there and when in that transitional period.
Right.
So things had started to improve. You understand?
Okay.
But from an education is everything. If you were never educated to stand on your own 2 feet, you were never inspired to have ambition or aspiration.
Yeah.
It's a whole new learning process.
See.
And that is what South Africa got through now.
Right.
And great leadership can turn around them thing quick.
Yeah.
Negative leadership can cause the thing for the start. You understand? So again, that is the struggle where we are got through in South Africa right now.
Okay, so here we are, 2023. What is currently happening for Dawit Menelik Tafari as an artist and for Melody Music as a record label? What can we look forward to? What's in the pipeline?
Well, at present, I got an album out there called Rastafari. Rastafari. Yeah,
Okay.
18-track album that's just been up on Bandcamp.
Okay, this is new, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
And doing some songs with a company in America called Don Hines Booking.
Okay.
So they got a track coming out called What You Gonna Do. And I have an album where we're living in a very troubled time where we did with the Great Reality, which we're still working on because we have great confidence in that product.
Yes.
And I'd like tell the people themselves too, because we have 2 people that interview me that ain't telling you where we come from. See, my journey, as I told you, I came back to Hackney in 1977. And them 2 man it's nearer to 40 years that I know them. So when we hear me talk about we getting up to things and doing things in Hackney, these 2 man know very well the things that we do and get up to. And to be honest, it's a great joy if you sit down here with them and we discuss the things. They them play a part in my journey. A big part too. And it's a joy. And like I said, the album we did, Troubled Times, I'm very proud of that album, and I feel like we ain't seen the best of where that's going yet.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's a real joy to be here, and we give thanks.
Yeah.
Rastafari, you know.
Yes, man.
Progressive.
Yes,
bill
man.
on top. So we do
For
it.
real.
That's right.
Yes, I.
Yeah, man. It's a great joy. Believe me.
So outside of your music and thing then, and you know your works, what do you do for like relaxation? I wouldn't say hobbies or anything like that. I don't see that I have a hobby. You know what I mean?
Like, what do you do?
What does Dawit do to unwind?
Landscape gardening,
You know what I mean?
mountain climbing.
You see my children tell me some boring, but we do the standard things. We plant, like you say, I like my garden.
See?
Right.
I like traveling. I've always loved traveling. I'm prepared to go anywhere. If I see something on TV and I feel like I want to go there, go see that in reality. I like traveling.
Yeah.
And music is always, even just listening music and you know, it's live music, same things. I don't find myself doing too much exciting things outside
the
of that.
stuff you'll be listening to, would there be anything surprising? I mean, any Frank Sinatra or Perry Como in there?
Yeah, well, living in Africa, you get a wide variety of African music. So, you know that you're always listening to Mali music, Senegal music. South Africa is very versatile in music and dancing. They have, you know, choir singing is also a culture in South Africa. So,
of course,
you know, and they produce great dancers and great singers. So you get a wide variety. Ethiopian music is again a different style of music where I find very fulfilling. So just listening to the different genres in music is always, you know.
And you've recorded many different types of genres too.
And like I said, being in Africa for me is extremely stimulating. You know what I'm saying? So I feel we just take it easy now, but we're happy with the environment and we're still chasing our aspirations. You know what I'm saying?
Never lose sight of the goal.
No, can't do that. It's everything.
So during the COVID period, where was you in Africa?
Yeah, I was in South Africa.
And how did that affect the whole situation down there, work-wise and?
Well, you see, South Africa again has a history of having these type of things going on. AIDS was a big problem in South Africa. Under apartheid, many people got experimented on. So when they made the COVID, them get frightened. Most people was very apprehensive because to them it's not something that could be a hoax. To them, that's something that is very, you know.
So their perspective is very serious when these things come back.
The lockdown, them, I was surprised with the lockdown. Them was kind of quiet.
Because you left the day it started to lock down here,
I got there on the last
last
on the boat.
I said, no, I'm gone.
We were there in Africa, and it was 2 years and 3 months right through until Britain did raise them visa restrictions and them entry. I was in South Africa, so I was mostly in my garden. Like most people, it was a time you do enough reflection within yourself.
Of course,
you understand?
And learning.
So we see it and we see back the change now where people really want to aspire for more, and even the thought of another lockdown is very depressing, you understand?
For real.
So, I spent the whole of that time. I think most people had the same kind of feeling, because most time you look around the world, everybody's something that people never experienced.
Yeah, of course.
And most people that I know said the same thing. It gave them the time for deep reflection. So, although I think it was something that really never needed to happen, but you have to make it positive. You know what I'm saying?
For real. Okay, so what would you say one of your best qualities are as an individual?
I don't want to sound vain. I don't like say I'm the greatest of them all. But that's an illusion.
we're supposed to be kind of ending on a positive conclusion, you know what I mean? So I could have said best or worst, you know what I mean? All right, let me ask you something.
Let the man answer the question. What's your best characteristic or your best quality? I mean,
I would say we stick at what we set out to do, you know, and I don't know.
Your perseverance.
Perseverance.
That's a good quality to have. That's fairly self-evident. I would say you've got an adventurous spirit as well. You couldn't deny that. You're bloody-minded when it comes to certain things. You just say, you know what? That's the goal. I'm going for it. That's a great quality.
Absolutely.
Nothing vain about that.
Right. Give thanks.
Which leads to, what's your worst quality?
Okay. Well, people say I'm miserable, I'm irritable.
See there?
I put that in perspective is because we want to achieve. We want to get to the goal. We're not interested in anything else.
And it can get frustrating along the way.
That's right. I'm sure you know
that. Those are two sides of the same coin. That's true.
Yeah, for real.
You want certain things a certain way, and if they've not got you're miserable. You show your displeasure.
That's right. My grandmother used to say, we don't suffer fools lightly.
That's right.
So I think I fit into that kind of mentality.
So, as an elder now and an established world citizen, what advice would you give to your younger self?
If I looking back, I'd say to attain more knowledge. Like we say, you know, we went to good schools, but we like we say we're more on the mischievous side, right? And seeing, I know at this stage you could have said, well, yo, if you put in a more effort in equipping yourself better, your journey could be easier. You understand?
Okay.
So it's not a regret. It's just 2020 hindsight.
It's a reflection.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you might have honed in on?
Again, you see the
One
aspects of
particular
what we're
aspect.
feeling mostly is in marketing and you know, understanding that world. Yeah, and it's not a world that really gels with musicians. That's where musicians
It's
have
the
a different
opposite of
spirit.
creativity.
And when you deal with business people, they have a different attitude, and you find that cause you want to work with a man where can work with your spirit. To me,
you know what that is? That is, and here comes our word of the day. That is the antithesis of the qualities of a musician. Because you want to be creative, you want to be free flowing, free thinking. To do that side is the side that we require. You have to be very logical, numbers, strategic, and it doesn't sit nicely with people with creative spirits.
That's right, and there's always some kind of compromise them where you make that. I don't want to make that compromise. You understand? I look at it as you must market what we produce. Don't try now to shape it into something because you feel like you need to market. We can't fit no bill. We is who we is, so you have to market what is.
That's
You
right.
understand?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
For real. So, what advice would you give to young people nowadays?
Well, I see a lot of people, and people who successful is the people them that really study the business side of things. Most time, even when we talk to even my own youth, them production for us and the talent is within us. It's very easy for us, although you have to perfect your skills. But again, the business side of the thing is you have to be able to put some knowledge and preparation for it. Why we're struggling too is that we don't have a lot of people from our realms trying to market us. Everything we do is we're always going into a realm that I don't really regard as our realm. We should have our own marketing, our own channels, our own reggae clubs, because like I say, I ain't trying to fit into anything. You understand? Like I say, and when we talk about the early years in Hackney, everything we wanted was there. We had music workshops, sound systems, enough place we could have play, enough place we could have keep dance. We had a community. It's all missing now. You understand? And we can't blame people. We're supposed to create our own environment.
Yeah, and that's so telling. We cannot blame anybody, because if we are producing something that's organic to us, we should be the custodians
of it.
Of
and we should have been building it to where we want it to go. Even one of the big debates in reggae now is it's gone in a direction, and when you look, who took it in that direction?
Who are the gatekeepers?
Right. You know, because we still wanted to do the tune of the 70s, as far as me concerned, is still the ultimate
to
of
educate,
reggae.
to uplift.
So therefore,
enlighten.
why has it gone in a different direction and we didn't perfect and take it to another degree?
We take
You understand?
things for granted.
So
true.
we still live with hope, and we put, and like I said, we hope the younger generation looks at it more.
But it's up to us to live truly to our commitment and stay on our vibe, maintain our levity.
Of course.
You try and follow a trend and thing like that.
No.
You can't run.
We set trend. We don't follow trend. Rastafari are the creators. We see, look what reggae music doing on earth. Look what with philosophy, ital food, all these things. It's one of the biggest impacts over the last 30, 40 years.
Central.
Everybody come capitalize our fight. And again, we should have put the structures in place.
We are the first eco warrior.
That's right.
First veganist.
All these things when they talk about, we have said that long time.
So, if you woke up tomorrow morning and an amazing miracle happened to help change the world, what would you want that miracle to be?
It would have to be balance within our people. Like we say, we see the revolution starting, and we see Africa is really our foundation. Because again, if things weren't so unbalanced in Africa, all the things where we are talking about might have been in a different perspective.
Right.
So when we look and see what are going, if tomorrow I could hear say Africa totally free and we in control of our borders, our currencies, our, you know what I'm saying?
Infrastructure, yeah.
That would be the ultimate for me.
Right.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on.
Yeah, balance. I would agree with that. Yeah, I wouldn't. It's not even so much whether the borders or what the currency we get rid of corrupt leaders or anything. What we need is balance and harmony. And if that's what we call that flux where things are manageable and acceptable to everybody. It don't have to be perfect, but it has to be balanced.
That's right.
I think that's where it has to be.
And we see. It's
So true. So
yeah,
true.
I agree with you 100.
Yeah, man.
So Africa is the vision.
Always been.
Yes,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Foundation
And like I
to
said, the
vision.
same thing. People, if you listen to people in Africa now, we as reggae artists and reggae singers have always been singing for the liberation of Africa. Whereas Africans see we as the announcers and the voice of them.
Right.
Now it's switching where Africa is actually now calling us and saying we need your help directly, even being here, right, in setting up things. And also now we need your voice again, because it look like we are entering a phase where it's going to be a tough battle. You understand what I deal with?
Right.
So Africa is calling to we, and again, we already say if Africa not free, black man can't.
True that.
Truly.
Right? And me not see that as a joke.
Yeah.
You understand?
You're right.
So that was even I and I as Rasta why we said we are go to Africa for go do this, that. We wanted to see the liberation of Africa.
Yes, sir.
So the journey remained the same.
Yeah, for real. So I take it not too long before you go back down then, innit?
Yeah, I'm soon gonna getting frustrated now. I want to buy within the next couple of weeks. I need to go home.
See.
Yeah.
See.
And when I get no summer in England where I can't even enjoy.
Yeah.
My name, sir.
Innit?
Yeah, I'm in a hurry now.
See.
Yeah.
So when you go back down south, it's going to be summertime coming up soon?
Yeah, we're going. When I get back, it's spring.
Spring.
So spring now heading towards summer.
Because the southern hemisphere, the seasons are different, innit?
So where you are, when it get cold, how cold it get? England cold?
Joburg can go to 0, but it's still a different type of cold.
Right.
Yeah, you will find Joburg will have a nice warm day. Like this could be a winter's day, but then you see come into 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock,
Right.
it
Then
just
sun
start
go
get
down.
cold. Cape Town is a lot of wind, and rain. So again, you can get a nice, lovely sunny day. We feel like this, and then the next day the wind up, the rain up, and it cold after you have on your heater.
See.
Whereas in KwaZulu Natal, which is the Zulu Kingdom, it's subtropical to tropical. So yeah, that's why we did it. We wanted to really be based
Is that near
there.
Durban and them side then?
Yeah, Durban, going up to Richards Bay, going up towards Mozambique. By the time you get to Mozambique, it's full tropical.
Yeah.
Because it's right near the equator, though.
Right.
You see.
So our preference would have been to be in the Zulu Kingdom, but until we see we can work something out, I'll be in Cape Town. Yeah.
Well, Dawit, it's been great having you here. It's been very enlightening. Love to hear the stories about Jamaica and Africa. And thank you for joining us. And thank you to all the viewers and to all the listeners. This has been Garvey's Ghost in the Spectrum of Roots. Give thanks.
Bless up.
Rastafari, man.